So who are attending first time, maybe it will be, of course, it will be new things. So maybe it will be difficult to remember. But if you practice, if you listen the session again and again, and next time also if you attend few other workshops and practice, then only you can be the expert on that. So if you ask me how many times I attended, how many workshop I attended, and how many hours I spent to be an competent person, still I don't know I'm competent or not. So it is uncountable. Okay. So don't be upset who are attending first time. So if you listen second time, it will be more clear to you. Measurement model. So what is measurement model? In measurement model, we have two criteria already we have seen: the reflective measurement model and the formative measurement model. Examine the linkage between indicators. What is the function? Measurement model examine the linkage between indicators and constructs. Look at here. What is indicators? The X1 means question is the indicator. And what is construct? This is called construct variables same. So what is the relationship? And can be in two forms: the formative measurement model, reflective measurement model. The first formative measurement model in this slide they showed. Formative measurement model already we know I have to do these things. Formative measurement model, arrow pointing from indicator to construct. The relationship between indicator and construct in a formative measurement model is known as weight. Remember two things. Apart from this, some other theoretical definition or a little theoretical foundation also is there for the when you will set the formative measurement model or reflective measurement model. But in analysis, if you don't know if you forget the theory also, you can run the software. So when you are using the formative measurement model, you have to remember, I have to remember, I am getting a value of weight. Another is loading, we'll get it for the reflective. And see the slide? The relationship means you will get a value when you run the software in between the indicator or item with the construct. So that value will be called weight. If it is reflective, it will be called loading. You have to remember when you are using the term weight or when you are using the term loading. And also another thing, yes. So see another graphical. If you want to make the difference, graphical difference, the pointing arrow, it is coming from where? It is coming from indicator to construct. It is forming. This three thing is forming this work-life balance. So if you say, suppose I'm making a work-life balance formative measurement construct. So maybe work-life balance you want to measure like work pressure, especially in our cases, sometimes, especially who are working in the private organizations, we used to say we have more work pressure. That is work-life balance. Again, maybe your colleagues or boss are not cooperative. That is also affect your work-life balance. And again, maybe you are staying far away, so it is taking more hours for coming and going. So it is also affecting your work-life balance. So many measurement criteria you can set. So all this it is forming. So that's why this is another show. If it is reflecting, you are understanding it will be reverse. It will be reverse means the arrow will be from construct to indicator. So I think this is at the beginning. This discussion is enough. Now come for the next slide. Yes. Let me check the time also. How many? Yes, already 9:30, 10:30. So 1 hour already gone. We have another 1 hour. So reflective measurement model. See the arrow pointing from construct to indicator. Reverse. Construct to indicators. So you have to remember. And the relationship between indicator and construct in a reflective measurement model is known as loading. So these are the things you have to remember. It's not a rocket science. This is the structural model, and structural model, what you do in the structural model, examining the relationship between latent variables. See, with these two latent variables, independent and dependent variables. The relationship between the latent variable is known as path coefficient. See, so we'll get a value when we'll run a software, and that value will be called path coefficient. And structural model, in other words, it is also called the inner model. So I think that is the objectives of the structural model. So this is new things you are attending, so you have to know some new things. The fundamentals of SEM. See, in previous slides I discussed one by one. So now in a one slide you see the everything. The first thing is measurement model. I have in measurement model two things. Reflective measurement model. What is the reflective? Yes, here is the reflective measurement model. So in reflective measurement model, I will get the loading. So it is their loading. Now formative measurement model, I will get weight. So it is their weight. Measurement model, it is called outer model. See, very clearly it is showed. It is outer model. Now come for the structural model. Structural model, we examine the relationship between two latent variables. So here two latent variables. The value is called the path coefficient. So it is showing path coefficient. And this red box is only called the inner model or structural model. So I think in complete model you see the everything. Now again, you should have a clear idea about the reflective and formative measurement for model when you are defining or when you are designing your research model. So some researcher can say you now don't think about the software, because you will forget if when I start my PhD in 2019 also, some of our friends or maybe especially friends, they used to encourage. Now in analysis, we had a class in software class also, research analysis one course. So that time some of our friends used to say, uh, yes, okay. So don't focus on the software now. You will forget. So let's focus on the research methodology course only. Let's make the proposal first, then we will understand. So I think that's also not a right approach. You know why? When you are focusing on your proposal and you are fixing who are specially, today I am talking about my lecture will be helpful only for who will be using the primary data. For the science background, if you don't do any research on primary data, so today's lecture will not maybe useful. Especially I know subjects are they are working in the machine learning, some other softwares or C programming, blah blah blah. So for them it will not be helpful. But if you say research means basically, or in all cases, maybe you have to do the primary research or primary data. So in that case, I think this software will help you. So what I was trying to say, if you work with the primary data, when you are developing a model, if you know the analysis knowledge, if you know the software knowledge, then only your model will be correct. And in other cases, there is a chance maybe you will design a wrong model and you have collected the data. And after that, you realize you set the wrong questionnaire. Can you imagine what will be there? Alhamdulillah, in my cases, actually, when I said my model, actually, I was not clear about what is reflective measurement model, what was formative measurement model. Though I attended several times, attended the PLS-SEM, SmartPLS workshop. And also, I was not clear about the higher order construct. But fortunately, one of my co-supervisors, Dr. 𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬, he is very expert on this model. So they are the professors, they are the supervisor, they know. So they told that you made this like this measurement and you made like this measurement. Then I realized, oh, now I see I was okay. And also he suggested me to to add one question for the global single item. Then I realized, oh, if I didn't use that, then maybe one of the steps I supposed to missed in my analysis, especially for the formative measurement model, that is redundancy analysis, like that. So that's why I'm suggesting who are planning to do research, you should have the statistical knowledge. If you have the better statistical knowledge, you can do better research. So that's what I'm saying. See, reflective measurement model, already we saw the graphical representation. Here some theoretical indicators are representative or manifestation of the latent variable. Indicators are highly correlated and interchangeable. Removal of any indicators will not alter the meaning of the latent variable. That means in software, basically we give by default the reflective format. When you are setting reflective means in that case you have 5 items due to factor loading. If you due to factor loading means less factor loading, you know factor loading should have 0.7 and above. If you can delete item and the thumb rule is maximum 20%. That means if you have 5 items means 5 question, you can delete only 1 question. So that is the reflective. So it is better if you say the reflective. But again, theory has to support. Now come for the formative item. The indicators causes the latent variable. Indicators are not interchangeable. Indicators can be positive, negative, or not correlated. Removal of any indicators will alter the meaning of the latent variables. That means it is very difficult to delete any item due to less not loading. Formative means it has to be weight due to less weight. So that's why especially I will suggest when you are setting the formative measurement model, you have to be very careful. In in any cases, if you get the less weight, you cannot delete because it is not allowing you to delete any item. Again, if you ask me example, what is human resource management? Human resource management basically we used to say that okay, human resource planning. What are the functions of human resource management? Or what are the functions is forming the human resource management? Human resource planning, recruitment, selection, orientation, training and development, performance appraisal, compensation, promotion, demotion, transfer, separation. All functions in a bundle in human resource management. You made it formative measurement model. You got maybe recruitment is less weight, and you have to delete this item. Delete this item. Do you think you are in the safe zone now? Do you think that without recruitment, HR will work? No. So that's why it is very dangerous setting the formative measurement model if the unfortunately if you don't get your expected result or theory doesn't support. So that is the things. So the basic PLS modeling. So I think all ABC I discussed. So you have to remember these are the things. Again, now we are starting the assessment of measurement model. That was ABC. And now we are going for the real. Day by day, we are entering into the real field. I think another 30 minutes, I will discuss the theory. I think last 30 minutes only I can. For 20 minutes, I can show the practical and 10 minutes, I can take your question and answers. See, already we know measurement model. What we do in measurement model, we have to know what is the actually objectives of this. Why you are doing this? The main objective is for this we are doing why measurement model we are doing to assess the relationship between indicators and latent variables. What is the objectives of measurement model? To assess the relationship between indicators and latent variables. What are the already we know the things. Just again to remember in a one slide. Types of measurement model already we know. How many types? Two types. How many types? Two types. Reflective, formative. Can you see my first slide? 10 minutes I discussed on that. Same thing already I discussed. Assessment criteria for reflective measurement model. Can you recall? Three things. Internal consistency, convergent validity, discriminant validity. Formative measurement model, convergent validity, you have to test. What is the assessment criteria? Convergent validity, collinearity issues, and weight and significance. Already we know. And that's why I told that in first slide, everything is there. In one slide, I show everything of PLS-SEM. Reflective model assessment. Internal consistency will be checked by the basically the composite reliability. Convex alpha we don't use in convex alpha. Convex alpha, basically we use in the SPSS. In structural equation modeling, we will consider the composite reliability value, and that value should be 0.7 and above.